Hi everyone. Today we are going to be making this signature right here. This is kind of like one of the signatures that I made in the free anime signature pack that I had made. If you haven't seen that yet, just go to my main YouTube page and you will find it in one of the videos there, and then it'll take you to my website, or you could go to my website, which the link will be in the description, and you could go ahead and download that anime pack. I had got asked how I had made that signature, and unfortunately when I bought my new PC I tried to transfer everything over, and somehow a lot of the stuff had got lost, and I have got rid of my old computer, so I no longer have those photos from that anime signature anymore. So I tried the best that I could with a different photo. It's the same concept that I used with the other one, just with different photos. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. There is a couple things that you're going to need if you want to follow along exactly with the photos that I am using. Let's see here. Where are they? All these photos. I gotta check and see if I could add any of these photos into the download that I normally leave on my tutorials on my webpage for you guys to download. I don't know if I can. If I can, I will put them in the pack. If I can't, I will leave links to where you could get these photos in the description. Alrighty, and there is also another thing that you're going to need. You're going to need the layer effects plugin for Gimp. You could just go to gimp.org and then click on their registry link, and then it'll take you over here to the registry. Well, I guess I could have just showed you that right off the bat, I guess. Just go to gimp.org if it'll go. For some reason gimp.org has been running really slow today. Dun 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 dun. Huh. Oh, there it goes. It popped up. Okay, yeah, gimp.org. There is on the right side, you'll see the plugin registry. You just click on that and it'll take you to the plugin registry, and then over here you'll just want to click on popular content, and then there's layer effects. Then just click on layer effects, and then you could download the script or the Python file. I use this one because the Python file, it allows you to preview what you're doing, and the script don't. I don't like guesstimating and then having to click and then it'll do its job, and then if you don't like it you have to undo it, and then I don't like that. I like where you can preview it first, so I use the Python file. You'll just want to download this link or right click and save. Let's see here. Yeah, you'll want to right click and save link as, and then save it, and then you'll want to put it into where you have your GIMP plugins at, and normally that is, let's see, on Windows 8 you'll go to your program files, and then you'll go to GIMP 2, and then share GIMP 2.0, and then your plugins will normally be in here, but since I got something else installed, we got to go to how you normally did it on Windows 7. This is Windows 8, and you just go to then you go to GIMP 2.8, and then you'll have plugins, and then you will just want to drop your Python in there. see, let me make sure I'm explaining the right one to you. Yeah, you'll want to save the Python in the plugins folder. I was correct. So you could do that right if it's got a how to install down at the bottom page if you want to install the script. But like I said, I like the Python version because it allows you to preview. So we're going to go ahead and close that. And let's go ahead and go to Gimp. And I will show you what I'm talking about. You got to go to, when you install it in the plugins, it'll be under layer and then layer effects. And then you got all the layer effects kind of like you do in Photoshop. And then see, you could click on preview and you see how it changed on the outskirt. Change the choke, change the size, and it allows you to preview it. I like that, because if not, if you download the script one, then you're going to be guesstimating, and then you have to click OK, and then it'll do its job, and then if you don't like it, so Python is the one that I like. Anyways, okay, let's get in here. There's not very much to this, really. There's only a few layers in here, and on the other one it was the same. I just did a couple different things to the other one. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go to File and then New, and we're 1000 by 1000 is gonna be okay, and then press OK. Let's go ahead and make a new layer, and let's name this BG for background. And then let's go down to this bottom layer and let's just go ahead and delete that. And I guess we could go ahead and add in our woman if we would like. Let's see, we want to add her first. Yeah, let's go ahead and add her first. I'm just going to grab her, drag and drop her on here. And then the site that you download this from, it's going to have the other person's watermark on it. All you do is just take your rectangular select tool, go around it, and then click delete. Control-Shift-A to deselect. And let's go ahead and turn her off for now, because we're going to come over here and we're clicked on our rectangular select still. We're going to click on rounded corners, and we are going to bring the radius way up, I don't know, maybe around close to 60. That should be fine for me. And we're going to just go ahead and drag out a selection here. And we don't want it too super huge. I mean, you can make it as big as you'd like that one. It's not really all that big. This one's actually bigger than that one. So we'll go ahead and lower the size. And now that you have a selection, you could raise the radius on how big of a circle you'd like that to be. And I'm sorry if that's hard to see, but we're fixing to make it where you can see it. But so I raised the radius up to 88. So let's go ahead and grab our paint bucket tool. And it don't matter what color you use, really. I'm just going to use this off gray here, and just click in there and fill it. And then we're going to go and we're going to Control-Shift-A, and we're just going to use this as a template. So I guess you didn't have to name that BG. You can name it template if you want. because we're going to be using it a lot for a few different things. And just like I got here. So let's go ahead and turn back on her. Let's go ahead. I'm zooming in and out with my mouse wheel. I'm just pressing down Control and then rolling my mouse wheel. You could also press Shift plus to zoom in, and then the minus on your keyboard to zoom out. So let's go ahead and work on her. First thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and flip her. So we could press Shift F, I believe, and then just click on her, and it's going to flip her horizontally. And then we're going to press M on our keyboard to grab our move tool. Make sure move the active layer is selected. And we're going to move her over here. Now we want to scale her down, I'm sorry. So we're going to press Shift T. And I got no guide selected, and keep the aspect, which is keep the aspect ratio. That means so it'll keep her proportions. So we're going to lower her down. Let's see, let's reset. She's 500 by 712, and we just need to lower her down just a little bit. So about 444 by 632 would be okay. Press scale. Might be okay. Let me check and see here. Zoom in a little bit, and we want her feet to be over here, but I'm wanting these bags and stuff to be hitting this corner of here. So let's scale her down a little bit more. So let's go Shift T, brings up the scale tool, and let's scale her down just a little bit more. Go about, I got her about 402 by 572. Press scale. Let's move. Okay, that looks fine to me. And the reason why, I'll show you here in just a minute, the reason why we're moving her over here and we want her feet to be right here. Let's go ahead and turn her off, and let's click on the background layer, and let's go ahead and go up here. And we're going to grab this green misty forest road right here. And we're going to just go ahead and drag and drop that down here. Oh, I do apologize. Another thing that you're going to need is you're going to need Gimp. So let's click on Google Canary and see if that one's working a little bit better for us. And you'll just want to go to Google and just type in Gimp. And it'll be this one right here, Gimp Gray's Magic for Image Computing and Open Source thing. And we're going to go ahead and click on download. I wonder why. My internet is being super slow today. I don't know why, but it's starting to get on my nerves. So we're going to go back over here, and we'll just click on the download Gmake plugin. There we go. And right here they have it for the, if they don't have that link on Google, just to go straight to the download, then go in there and then just click on download, and it'll bring you to this page. And you got for the Windows 32-bit and 64-bit, the installer, you can download it as a zip file if you want. You got for Linux 32-bit and 64, and for Mac. It's a pretty cool set of plugins. You can do all kinds of different things with it, but you will need that for this. And there is one thing that I forgot to get, and it is this right here, because I started this tutorial last week, but work had got so busy for me that I could not finish it, so I decided to go ahead and redo it today. And that is another reason why I haven't put any tutorials up in a little while. Okay, so we're gonna go, once you download Gimp, you're gonna find it in filters, and you're gonna go to filters, Gimp, and it's gonna be in here, and this is gonna be the set of wow, I just had a brain fart. We're gonna go to artistic and then colored pencils, and these are the wow. Oops, what did I do here? I can't even think today. We're gonna need to set the size and the amplitude and the color size and everything like that with these numbers right here. And I do apologize. I'm not dumb, I promise you. I don't know. I can't think today for some reason. Alright, so the size we're going to set as 1. And the amplitude we're going to set as 1 to 1.99. And the quantized colors is going to be 111, and the color smoothness is going to be 7.97, and we're going to put this on multiply, and the color intensity stays the same. And Gmix has gotten quite cool, and it's gotten quite big. When I first started messing with Gmix, there was only like a couple hundred filters in here, and now if I was to press this and refresh, but we're gonna go ahead and click apply first, so we could apply this effect to our image. And if you look right here, it'll show you just what we're doing. It's making the real life image look like it was drawn or something. So we're basically faking it. So we're going to go ahead and apply. And then when you download Gmix, like I said, you could hit this as long as the internet is connected. You could hit this and it'll connect to their website, and it will download all the new filters. So I got 699 now. We're going to go ahead and click off of here. We're going to go ahead and right click and add an alpha channel to this too. So as you can tell, we just kind of faked this and made it look like a real one, because the reason why I did that is because of course she was drawn by somebody, so she is not a real life character, and so I did not want to really add real life elements to something that wasn't real life. So I wanted to try to fake it the best that we could, and I thought this result turned out pretty good, as you can tell, see over here. So okay, now we're going to go ahead and we are going to grab our perspective tool. You could press Shift P, or you could just go ahead and click on it and then click on the image if you would like. And we're going to go ahead and just drag this corner straight down. Then we're going to drag this corner straight down. And then we're going to drag this corner out. And this corner out to the right. And just drag this down some more. And this one down some more. Trying to keep them lined up. Drag this corner out some more. And this corner. Just like that. I think that looks fine. And then let's go ahead and click transform, and grab our move tool, and then we're going to go ahead and move it into place here. Just like that. And then let's go ahead and duplicate this, and let's turn this top one off and click on the bottom one, and then let's go to colors, desaturate, And we want to desaturate. We want to use, let's see, luminosity, and press OK. That looks good to me. And now we are going to right click on our background layer. Like I said, we're going to use this as a template, and we're going to go to alpha to selection, just like that. And let me see here, let me make sure that we don't need to do anything else first. Yeah, I guess we could go ahead and put the background in there. And let's go ahead and, like I said, we got that selection. Let's go ahead and right click and add a layer mask. White full opacity is fine. Let's go ahead and grab our paintbrush, and let's go ahead and make it black, and let's go ahead and click Control I to invert the selection, and then let's just get rid of all this, and Control Z. Let's go ahead and press M on our keyboard, and let's go ahead and move this image down a little, because it was not covering the whole bottom of our thing. Okay, and let's go ahead and click back over here, and then let's make sure that we're still on our layer mask, and now we could go ahead and click on our paintbrush, and let's get rid of all that stuff. And then let's go ahead and do the same for this one. Let's turn it on. Let's go ahead and drag it down, press M. Just drag it down a little bit. Let's make sure these, let's go ahead and right click and add a layer mask. And let's go ahead and click back on the background layer, and then click on the mask, and then grab our brush, and then let's get rid of all this. By the way, I'm just using the soft brush. You could use the hard brush if you'd like. And we are going to go ahead and let's lower the opacity on this layer quite a bit. Around 36 would be fine. And let's see, I knew that was gonna happen, so let's just go ahead and Control Z this, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and let's go ahead and let's link these two. Let's grab our move tool, and move it down a little bit, and then that way we link them so it'll move both of them, and then that way they're both in the same place. I do apologize about that, but the process is going to be the same. We're just going to go ahead and make sure we're on our layer mask. Make sure we click Control I to invert the selection, and let's click on our brush, and let's get rid of all this stuff. Oh my goodness. Control Z. Wow, I do apologize. What the heck? Press M on our keyboard, and let's make sure we move it over a little bit. That way it's covering the whole thing. Wow. Okay, I do apologize. Now we can get rid of it. There we go. Now we're going to click on this one. Right click, add a layer mask. White full opacity. And then let's just go ahead and get rid of it. There we go. Now we press Control Shift A and we get rid of that selection. And now we're going to go ahead and drop the opacity down on this one to around, I don't know, 35 or 36. Looks fine to me. And we could turn her back on, and as you can tell that she is walking on the road, and see we faked that picture, so it looks more like somebody drew it or something, and it makes it look a lot better. To me, at least it does. Okay, now we're going to click on her, and let's go ahead and lower our brush size way down. and I am still using the soft brush. And let's go ahead and make a new layer, and we could call this I don't know, model shadows, I guess, or model darken layer, however you would like to name it. We're going to go ahead and click on the girl layer, and we're going to right click, and we're going to do alpha to selection. Then we're going to click on the model shadow layers, and we're going to drop the opacity way down to about 6 or 7, and we're just going to go over her with black on a very low opacity, because she is a little, let's raise the brush size a little bit, she is a little too bright for my liking. So we're doing her lower half mainly, but we want to kind of blend it in. Control Z them last couple of strokes there. Want to kind of blend it in. We don't want it too super dark, but we don't want her too super bright either. Control Shift A to deselect. That looks fine to me. Now we're going to go ahead and make another layer. And like I said, this tutorial is going to be pretty quick. Let's go ahead and name this eye color. And we are going to put this layer on Dodge. We're going to click back on her, and we're going to grab our color picker, and we're going to go ahead and scroll in here. Like I said, you could use Shift plus on your keyboard or minus on your keyboard. Shift plus zooms in, minus zooms out, or use Control and your mouse wheel and you just zoom in here. And I'm going to grab this dark green color, which is 154348. That's the HTML notation. I'll leave it there for a second if you'd like to pause the video. Okay, and we are going to grab our paintbrush tool again, and we're going to make our paintbrush tool way low, and make sure we're on the eye color layer, and let's use the bracket keys under the backspace on the keyboard to make your brush size way low, and mine's on 1, and we're just going to go, oops, make sure your opacity is 100% too, and we're just going to go over the eyeball with this color. Let's go over here to this eyeball. And if you don't have this video on full screen, since it's going to be a high definition video, I imagine this is going to be pretty hard to see. I'm not no video connoisseur or anything like that. I haven't figured out how to exactly make the video to where it looks awesome when I try to zoom in and have the mouse follow around and stuff like that. But I will work on that. That way, even if you keep it, you know, the video on the smaller video it has, if you have a slower internet connection. I normally use my YouTube. I use that. There's a little box under the YouTube video that makes the YouTube video bigger without going full screen. That's what I normally use to watch videos and stuff. And that would probably work better for you if you're following a tutorial anyways, because you can't have your screen full screen and then work with Gimp too. But alright, enough of my rambling. Let's go ahead and zoom out here. I'm pressing the middle mouse button down to pan. You could use your navigator if you'd like, and navigator move you around. If you don't have the navigator, you could go over here on this little tab that looks like a backwards YouTube logo, and just it's got add tab, and then you click on navigation, and that will bring up your navigator window, and it allows you to zoom in from here and everything. Oops. So there's her eyes, and we just brightened them up. And when you use color dodge, you want to use a darker color. That's the reason why I used a darker color, not a lighter color, to brighten up her eyes. So that made her eyes pop. And let's see here. So we got the eyes, this. Let's turn off these, unlink them, and let's look at this other one. Let's see what else I added next. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll work on that. Let's click on this. Let's name this color BG, and this one will be DSAT BG, and that's fine with me. And so let's click on the color background, and let's go ahead and oops, and we're gonna add a particle, and so I will give you a link to where you can get these. So we're gonna add these particles in right here. Just drag and drop them, and let's grab our move tool, and let's go ahead and move these around. This is just basically personal preference, but we're only going to have the particles in this picture. So I want not a super lot, but I want some in there. Let's see. Let's see if we can't. There we go. Just like that is fine with me. So we're going to go ahead and right click, and of course we're going to add a layer mask, white, full opacity. Then we're going to click back down here. Let's just name this template instead of BG. So we're going to click on the template layer, and we're going to right click, and we're going to alpha to selection, and we're going to go back to our layer mask, and we're going to click Control I, and let's make sure we click these bottom two down here. We'll change that back to black and white. Let's make sure we're on black, and then grab our paintbrush and go to our tools, and let's raise our size up to a decent size, and let's just get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of all these particles. Let me zoom out here, make sure I'm getting the whole image. We just want them on the inside because we're going to do an effect on the inside, that little circular thing down there. So I just want to make sure that I get rid of all of them. That brush size back down, and then we're going to go ahead and Control Shift 8 to deselect, and we're going to go ahead and drag and drop another particle system in there. So let's just grab this one and drag and drop it in there, and let's press M on our keyboard, and let's move this around. And let's see here. Alright, about right there is fine, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's right click at alpha selection. Let's go ahead and right click on the top particle layer, the one that we just added, and let's add a layer mask. White full opacity is fine. Let's go ahead and grab our brush, and let's press Control I to invert the selection, and then let's get rid of all these particles on the outside. You could leave them if you'd like. Raise the brush size again. Zoom out a little bit. And there we go. Control Shift A to deselect. And so we got her, let's see, we got shadows, got our eye color taken care of. We got the top two particles done. We got the background done. We are going to add these cracks now, and we'll just drag and drop them in here, and we're going to press M on our keyboard to grab the move tool, and make sure to move the active layer is selected. That's the reason why I could grab it anywhere it's at and anywhere I'm at, and I can move it. So let's go ahead and pan up and zoom in, and let's go ahead and press Shift R for our rotate tool, and we're going to rotate it. Let's see, we want to keep the cracks kind of going the same way as the tip of her feet, so I'm trying to follow along with that, and we're going to rotate it. And then we're going to grab our perspective tool again, and we're just going to go ahead and do the same. Drag it down, drag it up, just like that, and press transform, and press M on our keyboard to grab our move tool, and we just want the crack to start going, I don't know, about right here, I would say. And then we can right click on it, add layer mask, then click on our template layer, alpha to selection, Control I, and click back up here on our layer mask, grab our brush, and then let's just go ahead and go on the outside here. Make sure we don't have none of that crack on the outside there. Control Shift A. And we're going to lower our brush size way down, and we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to name this crack highlights. Will be fine. And we're going to go ahead and press X on our keyboard. X just switches our colors over here. So we're going to press X, and we're going to go to the white color. We're going to make sure that that is highlighted, and we're going to zoom way in here, and we're going to press the left bracket key on our keyboard all the way down, and let's see which way the crack's going. So they got a crack, and we're just going to follow along the outside edge of the crack here. Pan around, find these cracks. And this is kind of just totally up to you on how you want to do this. And then we're going to just lower the opacity to about 27, 28 would be fine. Oops. Zoom out here. And as you can see, it just kind of highlights them cracks into the photo. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. And it kind of highlights the curves of the cracks. You could probably drop the opacity down way lower if you'd like. It just kind of gives that kind of like specular look, I guess you would want to say. So we got the cracks in there. That was pretty simple, pretty easy. Let's see, let me look over here. Like I said, I started making this last week, and I'm trying to remember what all I did. Got the cracks, the highlights. Got her. Eye color. Okay, let's go ahead and we are gonna do something with some smoke in here. So let's go ahead and click on the eye color, and let's go ahead and drag and drop. Which one did I use? 2. Drag and drop this one in there, and it's going to be super huge. So we're going to go ahead and zoom way out, and we're going to press Shift T on our keyboard, and we are going to lower this down. Press scale, and we're going to turn this layer, and then we're going to put the mode on screen. Where's it at? Press screen, and we're going to zoom way back in here, and we're going to press M on our keyboard and make sure the move active layer is selected. That way we can just grab from anywhere over here. And for this, we're going to go up to filters, and we're going to go to blur, and we're going to go to motion blur. And we're going to put the length up to, let's try like 111. And then let's see, let's move this to about 50, 52, be fine, and press OK. Press M on our keyboard to grab our move tool, and let's go ahead and move this into place here. Let's zoom in. Right there to be fine. Let's go ahead and go to colors, and let's go to levels, and let's see if we can't fix this a little bit. The white highlights, we're gonna kind of make it like a blue, little misty looking. That looks okay to me. So we're gonna go 28.70 and then 228, and then press OK. And then we're gonna go ahead and come over here. We're gonna lower the opacity. Just like that. And there is one thing that I forgot to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come back to the template, and you guys are probably saying, oh well, we downloaded the layer effects and put it in. This is what we're going to use it for. So we're going to go to layer effects, and we're going to go to first, I apologize, let's click in here, and there is a green color that I'm going to use, and it is 091205 for the HTML notation. Make that a little bit bigger if that helps. So it's 091205. We're going to go ahead and grab this, and we're going to Control C on our keyboard to copy it. So let's go back to layer effects, then go down to stroke. And in the color, we're going to paste that color. So press Control V to paste. Press Enter, and it's going to change it to that color, and press OK. And the size we want to be 2. And now we could just hit preview and we'll see what that looks like with that on there. And it just gives it kind of a border around there, and so I like that. So we're going to go ahead and merge with layer and press OK. And now we got a slight stroke around there, and I like that. It just kind of gives it a little bit more of a better feel. Let's see that smoke layer. We want to turn the opacity. Let's see, we could leave the opacity around there. And now you see why I added them particles too, because it kind of gives it, like, I don't know, a little mystic kind of feel right there, even though she's kind of sticking out of the image. Let's go ahead and add a layer mask to this, and let's go ahead and bring our size up a little bit, and let's go ahead and zoom in. I don't want to kind of take them hard edges off of her legs there. Alrighty there. That looks fine, I think. We could also probably drop this under the, not under her, but under the her shadow layer, and it kind of just darkens that part in right there. That'd be fine too if that's the way you want to leave it. And let's see, so we got that eye colors, shadows, and that. Okay, now let's go back over here and let's click on the crack highlights, and let's go back and let's drag and drop her in here one more time. Remember, grab your rectangular select tool. Let's go around her. Press delete. Control Shift A. Let's go press M on our keyboard. Let's go ahead and move this down. Let's see. We'll go ahead and press Shift T, and that brings up your scale tool. Let's scale her down. Scale, M on our keyboard to grab the move tool. Let's go ahead and grab her. And the shadows. Oops, I don't want to do that. Grab that one, press holding down Control, click on her, the eye color, the crack highlights, the cracks, and that's pretty much it. And let's go ahead and move them all over and up a little bit. Alrighty, and let's go back over here to this other one, and let's go ahead and you can unlink those now. Oops. And let's go over here and click on the other one we added. Let's bring her back in. We could Shift T and we'll scale her down a little bit more. Press M on our keyboard. Just like that. That's what I wanted. Alright, now let's go ahead and right click, add layer mask, add. Let's go back over here to the template, right click, and of course alpha to selection, and come back over here, and let's go ahead and Control I and grab our paintbrush and pan up by the middle mouse button on your keyboard, and let's just go ahead and get rid of all that stuff, and let's put this layer on multiply. And let's see here. M on our keyboard. Control Z that and make sure we're on clicked on her, not the layer mask. Let's see here. We add her over here. See her that too well. Bring up the smoke a little bit. Let's click back on her. Let's move her. Zoom in here a little bit. And let's click back over here. Lower the scale on our brush and let's get rid of press Control Shift A. Let's get rid of this rose. And there you go. That's how I wanted to put her in there. That's pretty good like that. I like that. And then let's just go up here, and you could go up to layer and then go new from visible if you'd like. I went into my preferences and I changed it to, because like I said, I was used to Photoshop, and it's Control Alt Shift E to make a layer stamp basically. And so we're gonna do that, or like I said, you go layer and then just hit new from visible and it does the same thing. And we are gonna go up to filters, and you could go to Gimp, and they got a, where's it at, lights and shadows, and they got this drop shadow 3D, and it's okay. You could, it's got all kinds of you know, different settings and stuff, more than just what the regular Gimp has to offer. But for this, we're gonna go ahead and on let's see, I've made this tutorial like 3 or 4 times now. I did it 3 last week and then once today. So anyways, I tried it on a couple of them, and I like the look, but for simplicity's sake, it looks good if you just go to blur, Gaussian blur, not blur, I'm sorry. What am I doing here? Go to light and shadow, and then go down to drop shadow. And I put the blur radius up to 17, and 80, 81 is fine with the offset of 4. Allow resizing, no, and press OK. And you got a soft blur on here. You could Control Z that if you want a harder blur. Just click right here and go reshow drop shadow. And you can go opacity to 100%, and you could lower the blur radius and press OK. And there is a harder shadow now, if that's how you want to do it. And the reason why I have the canvas so big is for the drop shadow purpose, because a lot of times when you do your drop shadow, the canvas is too small and your drop shadow gets cut off and it looks funky. So I wanted a big enough space for the drop shadow to work, and then you could go ahead and go in manually and you could cut it out the way you'd like it. So we could do that, and let's see, we got that. And we could go ahead and make another layer stamp if we'd like. Control Shift E for me, or go up to, that made that a little bit too dark. Let's see, Control Z, Let's go ahead and you can merge this down if you'd like. Merge it down to the drop shadow. Control Shift E. And it still made that too dark. Anyways, there we go. And so, what's next is we'll just go grab our crop tool and just go around, make a selection around it. And let's bring this in because I don't think that drop shadow goes way out there. Let's bring this in here. The drop shadow does not go way out there. Just like that. And we will hit enter. And you'll just want to go up to File, Export As. If you don't have Export As, some people told me before they didn't have the export or the export as in their thing. I don't know why. You could go to Save As, and then you could go down here and click on All Files, and you could save it as PNG, GIF if you'd like to do it that way. Or if you watched any of my other tutorials, I showed you what plugins that I have in mind, and in that plugin that has all the plugins that I told you, you just have to go to my page and look for that video. It brings a save for web, just like they got on Photoshop, and it shows you what your I want PNG 24, what it looks like and what it's going to save out as. So if you go back to JPEG, I guess you could see how it looks on the white. I think that looks pretty awesome. And that is a basic way of how I made this. But I don't want JPEG because I want the transparency. So I'm going to click on PNG 24. And we're just going to go ahead and save it. And we can save it we'll just save it sig underscore toot PNG, and we go to the desktop and save it out. And there we go, it's saved. And we could go up here and we'll see what the new one looks like. And this is what the one that we just made looks like. And this is the one that I made before. So not much difference. The only difference is that I made this girl smaller here and I made her bigger here. I guess I should have looked at that. So if you guys want it with a bigger face, let's go ahead and exit out of here. We'll just Control Z that. Control Z, Control Z, since we have this already put up. Where is she? She's here. We'll go ahead and you could leave it like that, or we'll just go ahead and delete her out entirely and then just come and click and just drag her back in there. Press M on your keyboard, and since we're going to be erasing that anyways, we'll just drag her back and we'll move her into position just like that. And we'll add a layer mask like we did before, same steps. And we'll right click alpha to selection on our template. Let's go ahead and click back on our mask for her, and let's Control I to invert the selection, and let's press the middle mouse button on your mouse. If you don't have that, like I said, you could use down here to pan, or you could bring up your navigation window, or you could press spacebar on your keyboard, and that allows you to pan also. So let's see, let's go ahead and click on her and make sure we have her where we want her. Just like that's fine. Back on our mask, and then let's make sure that full opacity. Let's raise our brush size up And let's go ahead and get rid of all this excess stuff. Just like that. Control Shift A to deselect. Oops. Control Z. What did I just do? I Control Z that. So let's go ahead and Control Shift A to deselect. There we go. And then let's go ahead and put this on multiply. Where's it at? There we go. And grab your move tool. Click on her, not the layer mask. And let's go ahead and move her around right there. I like it because it brings out her eyes. And we're going to go ahead and click back on this layer mask and grab our paintbrush and lower the size down. And we're going to get rid of this rose over here. If you can't see it now, you'll see it in your image. You could zoom way in, and it was right over here. I'm seeing some stuff that I don't like. What is this here? Let's go over here, and let's lightly get rid of that right there. Okay, and there we go. Now we could come back over here, and we will make you can go up, like I said, layer, new from visible, does the same thing. And then we'll go to filters, light and shadow, drop shadow, and 100%. It's all fine. Press OK. And there we go. And then now all we need to do is just grab our crop tool, zoom in a little bit. That's too much. And just like that. And come around her. Move up to where that stops. This one come in. Come in. Just like that. And make sure that I'm not cutting that shadow off down there, and press enter. Then file, and you could do export as a PNG. That'll work just fine. Or you could go to save as, and then you got to make sure you're on all files, and then click PNG in there. Or you could, if you followed my other tutorials and seen how all the plugins and stuff that I have in here, you'll have the save for web. And we'll go to PNG 24. And like I said, we click on JPEG. Let's bring the opacity up. Let's see how it looks with the white background. That looks pretty decent. It's PNG 24. And let's go ahead and save. And we are gonna save it as whatever you want, really. So we'll go sig underscore toot underscore 02, and we'll save that out. And there we go. So there's that one. And then the one that I created the other day. And like I said, you can make her even bigger and move her face over and stuff. But this is what it looks like and how it turned out. And that's how I basically did it on the other tutorial. Or the other tutorial on the anime signature that I gave away in my anime signature pack. The only thing that I did different on my anime signature pack is when it came to the person itself, how I changed the colors on like their clothes and stuff. I just went into colors and I used the filter pack, I believe, and I went to saturation, more saturation, pressed OK, and that brightens the colors out a whole bunch, if that's the look that you're trying to go for. And like I said, it brung out the colors in her dress and the other flowers and stuff. That's how I changed the colors. And then I went into colors, and then I did colorify. No, I didn't do colorify. That just changed the color. Colorize. No. Which one did I use? I apologize. It was... There we go. I used the hue saturation, and you see it changes that different color. Like I just brung out her eyes. When I click down here, you just use the hue, and it brings out different colors. It finds them colors, and it brings them out, make it less saturated. And anyways, I'm going to reset that. Come back here. Her eyes do look pretty cool when they're that dark blue. You change pink. Anyways, that's how I changed a lot of the colors on there. And if you instantly liked how her dress colors and stuff popped out more, then that's cool. You could use that. But I kind of went for the desaturated look on this one, and that's how I liked it. So I'm gonna go ahead and file, and we're gonna save this as underscore sig. I guess I don't have that one saved out already, so I'm gonna save this out, and that will be in this whole thing right here will be in the download folder on my website for you guys to go ahead and download, and you could look at it if you'd like to see exactly how I did some things and stuff like that. And like I said, I will look into if I could include these images in the download also. If not, then I will put the links for them in the description, and you guys can download them yourself. They were all free images. So I don't exactly know if they're free for commercial use or not, but they are free for everything else, so that's the reason why I use them. So I hope this helps, and for the person that asked me to make this tutorial for them, I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, please ask me, and I will be glad to help. This is how I did that style of that signature. I guess I could go ahead and show that, which one I am talking about. Where is it at? It's this one. This is the one that they wanted to know about. So I did the same exact way as I did this other one right here. Same exact way. Like I said, I just changed some colors and stuff and added different images, but this is the same way that I made this one. So I hope you enjoyed this, and sorry for rambling on so much, and I will try to get more tutorials out more frequently. I know I said this in a couple of my past tutorials, but work keeps on just knocking me down, making me work all the time. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please like, subscribe. There will be tons of more tutorials. Please also, if you have any suggestions on tutorials that you would like to see, please leave a comment, and I will be glad to make them, because sometimes it is hard to figure out what tutorial people want to watch or what people want to know. And I try to make different things than what is out there on the internet as far as GIMP tutorials. So anyways, thank you and have a good day.